Look at this crawl. Waiting for it. We got it. Green, green, green. Racing into turn number 1.
Everybody's trying to avoid that puddle on the outside, so you're not getting nearly as much of a spread into turn 2. But off the rip through to 4. Big moment for Jake Drew and Mossman, and around goes Burnett in the 15. So he lost a couple. And how about the rookie? Alexander Vanchev leads the field under the lights.
The biggest driver, the best driver in junior racing here in 2025. He finds himself out front for RPG, coming through the chaos. Alexander Vanchev goes P1, and another one of the drivers around. That's the 22.
Chico
Brown. Yeah, Chico Brown.
There's Massimino to the back there. Brown caught out by the lower grip, and it's a huge breakaway for the main group.
Dave Serra, we talked to him in the morning show. He said, if I'm Vanchev, I'm going to go. I need to go, set the tone early, get to the front. I got nothing to lose. Well, guess what? He was listening to Vanchev to the point.
What a huge breakaway here of nearly 3.5 seconds for the main 7 off all the carnage, with Brown going around in turn number 10. And how about Vanchev continuing to hold the lead? Turney's not making a ton of inroads yet. We've obviously seen now Moya go up the board to 3rd, the pole sitter back to 4th, and a little bit of changing back to Martinez. But man, there is a calmness right now with a rookie leading the way. Norberg back to 25th, didn't get a good start either. Big shakeup though, with a handful of drivers from the back of the grid able to kind of pick apart the pieces. But yeah, a lot of drivers already probably feeling like they're out of the running. Last time by, Ruben Moya went purple, and wow, right on cue, Joe Turney wants to send it for the lead. Little bit over aggressive there, he'll get caught out by it. Vanchev holds, but the number 6 is on the move, folks. Ruben Moya closing in. Yellow's waving here in this sector. I wonder if we had a wreck in the back. Ryan Raffa's just joined the pit lane here, so.
Xander, if you see the back there, the barriers were actually broken on the exit of turn number 10, so someone went through the barriers at the exit of 10.
The back 3 there, that's going to be Martinez and DeTulio and Greenemar. They actually had their own little swap-a-rooney. Greenemar was in 3rd or 4th rather for a minute. Now back in it, they can still have some inroads coming. Because guess what? Here comes Moya P2.
Ruben Moya able to get the over-under on Turney, and just like that, a little defending from the rookie out front, trying to hold the leads, backing him up, and we're 6 deep. Turney with a run to the high side of Moya. They'll go nearly 3 wide. Martinez to the inside and gets by his teammate there for 3rd. Yeah, Alexander Vanchev now leaves the door open. First time in a lap he leaves it open, and Ruben Moya makes him pay. New leader, the Spanish Salmon. All but for maybe 100 feet, Mike. Here comes Vanchev with an answer right back.
Yeah, exactly. Not quite enough. Oh, contact right there. It's going to be in the walls, Moya. Moya in the wall. There was contact from Vanchev. He didn't quite have the overlap. In for the apex goes Moya. Contact, Moya in the wall.
Big time implications here in the main. Joe Turney out of the lead. DeTulio to 2nd. Ruben Moya trying to hold the top spot over Alexander Vanchev and gets sent into the water and then into the barriers.
Yeah, unbelievably tough for Moya, able to continue on. There's going to be an activation of the pushback for sure.
Took him a little bit to kind of find his footing, Mike, but the 94 last time by looked pretty sporty. In fact, he's now on the cusp, looking inside. New leader, Alessandro DeTulio in turn 4.
Yeah, DeTulio started on pole, got shuffled back, has had to do a little bit of work, but guess what? The speed was never in question. He's been one of the ones to beat. Nash to the inside further back. I believe that was on Greenemar. Guess what, guys? They didn't waste any time on business picking it up.
Oh my goodness, I thought that was going to be 3 wide coming in there, Xander. My goodness. And with Greenemar on the outside of that, Joe Turney's gone back to the front. DeTulio in 2nd, Martinez 3rd. Oh, big move to the bottom. DeTulio to the inside. Book it. He goes through to P1.
That was huge for Alessandro DeTulio, and now he takes the whole train to the inside. Martinez to the outside. Blake Nash inside, hangs on for 3rd. McQueen is there, and so is the rest of the pack closing in.
Guys, would we have expected any less out of this caliber of talent? Look at the big run around the outside. Not going to work, as that's going to get pitched off by Turney. Turney's going to come back to the inside as well, as that's McQueen. How has Caden McQueen got himself up here? He's been almost nowhere throughout the weekend. He goes to P3. Shake this things up. Here comes McQueen.
And guess who else is in there? The number 23 of the Missouri, or there he is right there.
What?
The boys picked it up right away.
This race is far from over. Gus Lawrence back in it as well. Donovan Bonilla, oh man, really wide there, almost into the wall.
Little adjustment further back there. Nash pulling up on that radiator cover, trying to cool that motor down a little bit. Keeping an eye on the gauges for sure. Caden McQueen does the underneath move that worked for Turney over in KA. Can he run the outside of the racetrack here? DeTulio to the bottom. McQueen's trying to go to second. They're going to go too wide through here again. He's got to give it up. Great job from McQueen. That was split-second decision, Xander. Able to pull back Mike. Not getting wrecked.
Ruben Moya is wheeling and absolutely destroyed Pantano right now. He's back in the top 10 with probably at least a bent tie rod, if not a steering column as well, after tagging the wall. Ramos is there. The amount of drivers that are back in the conversation is crazy.
Guys, Lemassurier's up 19 positions, Mike. Are you kidding me? Dono Bonilla up 16. He's into 11th. He's going to be at the tail of the group just back there.
Joe Turney closing in. Blake Nash, all the speed, all the performance all week long, and he can almost taste it, Mike, but it just keeps getting further away.
Did you guys see the helmet of Joe Turney? He comes out of turn number 7. He looks to the left. He looks at the Jumbotron to see what's going on over there. Turney taking all the information he can.
JT is there and covers low in turn 4. He's a half car length away, closing in for the lead on lap 15. No, nothing yet in turn 4. He's going to hold back, Rob.
Yeah, here's your two drivers for that pull away. We've seen the breakaway already before. One
Perkins
driver
into the pit lane. New leader here, turn 7.
This is where it's going to start to show what it's got.
Well, you also want to make sure that you don't do too much too soon, because you've got the best opportunity to keep this a couple of people only. And right now, it is, well, we got a little, it's not full defense out of Turney, but a little bit tighter line, enough for DeTulio for a great crossover. Is he going to have enough? Turn 8, new leader.
As well, our last two major Pro X30 events on the year following the SuperNats were won by Joe Turney in August in Newcastle. But in that race, DeTulio and Gus Lawrence went at it a little aggressive and allowed Joe to get away. And the next one, Joe wasn't there, and there's contact into the wall. DeTulio and Blake Nash. Turn 5 blowed out the barriers completely.
It was Blake Nash going for the crossover. He got all the way in there. Joe Turney had no idea there was 2 people to his inside. He gave enough room for 1. There just wasn't enough room.
Mike, have a look at this.
Yeah, there's the move to the inside. It goes in deep. He wants to carry the extra speed. Look, both of them with the over-under. Turney has no idea they are there.
And you see that there. I'm sure we're going to look at it again, but if you watch Nash on that next replay shot, he gets into the curbing on the inside. That shoots the car up in the air. At that point, the force is going to take you to the outside into DeTulio.
And they'll rocket through the first corner and head over towards turn 4.
You do have a 3-pack of RPGs behind him. If this continues, you're going to have a Lawrence, Vanchev, Greenemeyer RPG coming.
Yeah, the RPG trio of Lawrence, Vanchev, and Greenemeyer lining up. They're going to be able to see this and start working their way forward. Lemasurier making the move now down to the inside of Caden McQueen.
Diego Ramos, could he double up and repeat the feat that Joe Turney put on in 2024? It's been an unprecedented year of results for the Brazilian. He'll nearly end up in the wall. Turney quick to cover the inside out of the final turn. 4 to go.
And around the outside comes Diego, going to drop those right side tires in that little bit of wetness. Lemasurier said, I'm going to take this. He'll go to the inside of the racetrack as well. Handful of laps remaining, as we know, just 4 laps. To the inside comes Caden McQueen. He'll go side by side through turn 6 into 7. Turned into the bottom of the racetrack. McQueen goes to P2.
Now, Joe Turney has to cover back low again. Mika Lemasurier getting the better of McQueen for P2. Here comes the rest of the field. Up front, Turney's got them under control. Moya, with a destroyed Pantano, is still in the top 10, nearly up to the podium right now.
And look at the lead group now, ladies and gentlemen. How many cars are in there? We talked about it when we did the track walk. You defend at this racetrack, everybody comes back into the fight. 22 laps down, 3 to go. Lemasurier to the inside. Book it. He'll take the lead out of turn number 1.
He's got to quickly cover off, but McQueen's got to run. Caden McQueen inside, hasn't tasted the lead all weekend. Can he hold it? Turn 5. Yes! Caden McQueen, new leader with 3 to go.
What a run for McQueen. The Sodi kart goes to the lead. Ramos into second. What did I say about putting Turney back? Oh, contact there. Driver's out.
Moya.
Moya has hit the wall coming out of turn number 7.
Moya's day ends with a second wall impact as Mika Lemasurier feeds a wheel to Joe Turney in turn 10. That'll give the top 2 some breathing room. Lawrence to 4th. 2 laps remaining. Can Diego Ramos get the double? Here he goes. Back to the lead into 4. McQueen lets him go, tries to cross him up. Side by side again as Turney tries to hold off the cavalry. A mano-a-mano fight into 7.
Yeah, Turney 100% getting attacked by Lawrence right now.
McQueen able to arc it right now, but Ramos continuing to park the bus. If he doesn't get crossed up, it'll get even tougher as Turney inches closer. White flag, 1 lap to go in SuperNats 28 and Pro X30. Ramos to the low side.
Here we go, final lap. Ramos covers the bottom of the racetrack but leaves the door open. Here comes Caden McQueen. He'll go to the bottom here right now. Turney is still there. Gus Lawrence hasn't found a way by. Turney gets to the back of him. He pushes him through the corner. Turney with the bump and run in turn number 4. Gus Lawrence right there in the number 7 as well. Turney takes the lead.
Gus Lawrence would love to end the storyline that Joe Turney's the best driver from the UK. Half a lap to do it. McQueen wants vengeance as well. Into turn 10, Lawrence low, all following Turney as wide goes what looked to be maybe Vanchev or Martinez.
Will it be a bump and run from Lawrence at the end? Turney's got the bottom of the racetrack. No one's going to challenge him. It's another victory for Joe Turney in Pro X30 at SuperNationals 28.
And look at this, Caden McQueen not happy about that one. Turney, oh, he drives him into the fence.
Contact and chaos coming into pit lane. Indeed, not happy for Caden McQueen. They tried to put 2 karts in. Let's have a look at this.
What the f are you doing, mate? You're that desperate. That desperate. Unbelievable. No.
And as you can see on the screen, a pushback bumper for Joe Turney means Gus Lawrence is your 2025 SKUSA SuperNats champion in Pro X30. All result provisional, but my goodness.